Judy, hasn't it been really hot out lately?
Oh, William, it is so hot I don't even feel like myself.
Well, I have a cure for that. A new episode of Garden Time. Give me my face.
No, Judy, I'm your biggest fan.
Oh, aren't you sweet? Welcome to Garden Time and the middle of summer. And you know, if you are out in the garden, make sure that you water those plants and yourself.
But coming up on the show today, we're going to be taking a trip out to the Portland Rose Garden and give you an update on all the construction and projects that are happening there.
We'll also be giving you some tips on how to stake your brand new trees to keep them happy and healthy.
But first, the Portland Zoo, so we can show you their new education center. Well, it is a delight for me to be here at the Oregon Zoo, and I'm with Don Moore, and you're the executive director of the zoo, correct?
Yes.
And we are standing in a brand new thing that has just opened called the Education Center. Tell me about that.
Yes, this education center is the 5th of 8 major bond projects that were voted on by our local public. We're very well supported. And we have a building that teaches. So inside we have an insect zoo, we have our Western pond turtle lab, we have solar on the top of this building, we have a path to net zero courtesy of Solar World and PGE. And so we're hoping that all of the energy for this building and the camp building behind us is produced right here by the solar cells.
So it's not just an education about nature itself, plants and animals and insects, it's also kind of an education on taking care of the planet in the sense of how we use water, which are what these wells are for, right?
Well, that's right. So we have a strategic initiative to be sustainable, and
right.
It's how we live with nature and provide for nature. And so these bioswales collect water. We have water-loving plants in here, like reeds and sedges. We have other kind of water-loving plants off to the side.
Right.
And so we're being as conservative, as conservation-minded as we possibly can.
And you've also worked in things like this beautiful art that's all over this area too, and this one's ambiguity, I think, or something.
Ambiguity. It talks about the small things and our commitment to small things. So
right.
Different kids say, oh, it looks like a coral polyp, or oh, it looks like butterflies emerging, or oh, it looks like a bee home. It can look like anything to any of those kids, as long as they get that it's important to take care of the small
right.
things in the world, flowers and pollinators and everything else.
And you know, as a gardening show, we obviously, gardeners love to watch it, and
Sure.
you have Master Gardeners is also part of this, so there's another area that you put in that really deals a lot with plants, so let's walk over there and chat about that, okay?
Yes, our demonstration garden.
Okay, Don, now tell me what part of the Education Center this is.
So this is the wildlife garden, and we've planted all native plants here to attract pollinators and to demonstrate to people how pollinators are attracted to plants and what pollinators need in the garden.
And you have such great signage like this one right over here about pollination, which is right next to, it looks like artwork, but it's actually functional, isn't it?
It's the Bee Hotel, and so it has a green roof on it. It has, a lot of functional stuff for carpenter bees and other bees. And we make the point to people that they can just create a wood pile in their garden,
yeah.
and then that can create mulch later on. But we did it kind of fancy here.
Well, yeah, and it gives a great idea of what you can use. You don't necessarily have to have a traditional bee house. You've got
That's
bricks right. and bamboo things. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to attract pollinators and give them a safe space to thrive.
That's right, and the bees do indeed use this hotel.
So Don, although you're putting in a lot of native plants here, you're also doing some work throughout many areas of extracting the invasive stuff.
That's right. Invasives are a problem, and so our horticulture team is working on site with our partners to remove invasives. Our eco-volunteers are even getting out into Washington Park, Forest Park, and other
nice.
places in the region to take out English ivy and other really bad invasives. And then we're coming in behind that and planting native plants.
What I love about this place is it's education, but it's education by example, and you can actually interact with it like you guys really are aware of soil. Tell me about this great little location.
Sure, so we have a lot of demonstration composting like in the bin, but for kids, because a lot of our audience is kids, we talk about compost critters. And so we talk about millipedes and centipedes as, you know, kind of the predators of the
Right.
soil creatures, and then springtails and earthworms and even fungi that's down there in the compost. And the kids can use these small shovels and kind of, you know, dig these critters up and take a look at them and then know what's in the garden at home.
Which is such a great way to teach, because you're interactive, you get to learn so much while you do it, and it can be done right here.
That's right. And with our collaborators, our partners, they're out here teaching all the time, especially the master gardeners. And we've got a lot of zoo teens and others who also like to work in the
Right.
garden, so they'll all work with the kids in the garden.
And you've created spaces for meetings and master garden stuff too, so that's all great.
That's right. That's
Perfect.
right.
Well, you know, it really is lovely. At Garden Time, we love education, so we're going to absolutely love this place at the Oregon Zoo. For more information on this new location and everything that's happening here, you can always go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. Don, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it.
You're so
lovely,
welcome.
lovely, lovely job here.
Thank you.
Garden Time is brought to you by Capital Subaru, your way on the Parkway.
I've been a Capital Subaru customer for 15 years, and one of the main reasons is because they treat me well and I want to shop local. The service department is excellent, and I always feel like I'm taken care of here. In fact, they call me now even after I've driven off the lot to remind me to come in and get my car washed. That's service. One of the reasons why I like coming to Capital Subaru, actually, they have the dog area, and I can just walk my dog around the whole area and we can enjoy the outside. I got it my way on the Parkway.
Fiberon. Deck it right the first time.
I'm standing in the beautiful International Rose Test Garden, and I'm here with Harry. And Harry, it seems like so long ago when we were here talking about all these changes that were going to happen, they're done now.
Oh, yes, thank goodness.
So let's go over again quickly some of the stuff that was done and tell me about it.
Well, we took away all the stairs that were going into this area, and they actually reused every stair tread because they're historical. And then they built this wall, and it took 4 weeks to get these walls done. Each stone is hand placed, just like they were done by the WPA when this stonework was done by
The big wall that's all around
yeah,
here, this area.
all
So
the
this-
stairways and that.
Beautiful. And then I love this railing.
Isn't it nice?
It's really nice.
It's there, it's very usable, but it doesn't take away from the walls.
Right,
That's
right.
what I really like.
And you really did pay attention. The whole system was put together to pay attention to those that are in wheelchairs, that need assistance. It really just opens it up to all people now.
It really does. It makes it a lot easier. And we have a special ramp just for wheelchairs because that's at correct grade.
Right,
That's a big thing. And then there's a ramp there for just people walking it.
And I know that a lot of roses had to be taken up and moved, but I'm seeing a lot of new roses already in.
They're all back. We finished down there before the festival started, the Rose Festival started. And just last week we were able to get this completed. The grass is in, the roses are in. We just have to wait for the seed to come up.
And there it is.
Yep.
And it's all beautiful. Now, you've also got a couple of great things happening so people can come and see this. Tell me about those two
Okay,
things.
well, we have the Wine and Rose Gala. It's a ticketed event. It's $100 a person. All the proceeds go to our trust fund.
Nice.
It'll be wine and heavy hors d'oeuvres in the garden.
Wonderful.
Everybody will get a etched wine glass.
Ooh.
And that'll be your ticket. And we're going to have light music around the garden. It'll be a dressy affair. It's not a blue jean and t-shirt affair. It'll be kind of, women are encouraged to wear their hats.
Ooh.
And just kind of a dressy thing. to make it kind of elegant. And it's from 6 to 9 p.m. on August 19th.
Wonderful, wonderful. But you've also got another event that is free for everybody.
We sure do. On the next Saturday, the 26th, it's a community day.
Nice.
There's lots of things planned, face painting and that throughout the garden. There's kind of a fun little game for people to play where you go and find the roses with the most prickers, because they're not thorns, they're prickers. Some of the famous ones from our movie stars. So it's all that kind of a fun thing to do. And then after that evening will be our free concert here.
Oh, fun, fun.
And that'll be in the amphitheater. And
And-
11 to 6:30, and then 6:30 the concert starts.
But we also wanted to remind people about these shuttles as well.
Oh yes, parking is a nightmare. And it's best if you can park at the zoo or come on the Max, and then a free shuttle will take you throughout the garden, and they run every 15 minutes. So they'll take you throughout the entire park and back up to the zoo to the Max line.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, you know, if you live in Portland, you know that one of the great prides we have is this wonderful rose garden, and that you can come out and enjoy it and really see all of its beauty. All you have to do is go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. You can gather all that information and come out and love the rose garden and enjoy Portland's favorite rose. Thank you so much, my friend. It's
Thank
a
you.
lovely job.
Thanks, Bill.
So, you know, if you've purchased a tree for your garden lately, you know that there's a big investment there. So today, Judy and I wanted to give you some ideas on how you can stake the tree to really give you a longevity and make it thrive.
Now this tree is called Merlot. It's a red bud, and we got it from Portland Nursery. So what we did here was we sunk 2 stakes on either side of this tree and about 18 inches away from the trunk. And then I'm going to use a length of hose. Now look, it's really nice and thick, so this nylon cord is not going to work through and then hurt the tree. So all you do is kind of wrap it around, maybe about 4.5 feet above the bottom of the tree, and then just tightly tie it to the stake.
Now, she used garden hose, an old garden hose that was cut up, but there's also another type of hose. It's pantyhose. Now, granted, they might not be as popular as they used to be, but they really work well for all kinds of things of tying plants up in a garden and a tree. And the reason is because they have a lot of give. They don't rot. Lord knows how long they would last out there. And then they're really easy to use. So you do basically the same principle, put it around the tree, and then just tie it down. And another great thing about these pantyhose is the color is very muted, so they almost disappear with time. Now this will work not only when you use 2 stakes, but you can use 3 stakes. I've even seen larger trees with 4 stakes. The same system works on all 4 ways.
Now make sure that you don't tie it too tight, that there's no sway in the tree in the wind. It actually has been proven that if the tree does rock a little bit, it actually stimulates root growth.
And remember that about a year is what you need to stake a new tree with. So after that year, you would go out and take all this down.
Well, we have one more product that we found, so we'll go over and show you that. We found this other product called the orange screw, and so it's a ground anchor. You know, you can also use this for tents. You could use it maybe to secure your dog with its leash. It has many uses.
In fact, they even have this great little thing right here that clips over a tomato cage, so when they get top heavy from fruit production, they don't just topple over. Now, they do come in 2 different sizes. This is the large one, and if you have a larger specimen, like a tree that's not, 15 foot tall, but you still want to stake, these are great for that. And they send these covers for protection, but here's the key. They also work like this, so you have leverage while you're screwing it into the ground, and it really works much, much easier.
Whatever method that you do use, just make sure you go out and secure your newly planted trees.
And by doing so, that'll make sure that they will have a happy and healthy lifetime.
Garden Time is brought to you by Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Do you want to be green? Do the easy stuff first. Hi, I'm Sarah from Portland Nursery. The U.S. House Energy and Commerce Committee says for every $1 spent on a shade tree, you can save $5 on cooling, blocking the penetrating heat in the summer and allowing the warm rays through in the winter. Dollar for dollar, there's no better energy and money saver than a good, deciduous shade tree. Portland Nursery's professionals can help you make the perfect selection. Portland Nursery, a passion for plants, a nursery for plant people.
Enjoy a summer of art and color. Visit the Oregon Garden for Art in the Garden now through September 30th. See outstanding and inspired art that represents both traditional and modern styles, carefully placed throughout the garden. See the combination of beautiful plants and great art as you stroll the gardens. Just pick up your map at the Visitor Center on your next visit. For details on Art in the Garden and a schedule of all our summer events, go to OregonGarden.org.
So I am sitting in the corporate offices of Yamasa Corporation here in Salem, Oregon. I'm with Leonard McMichael. And Leonard, this is an amazing place for me because you guys make soy sauce, right?
That's correct. We brew soy sauce.
Yes, indeed. And now, before I get into that, which is so fascinating to me, I want to know a little bit about the history of this corporation because it's like twice as old as America. It's been around.
Yes, we were the founding corporation was founded in 1645,
Wow.
and it's been owned by the same family ever since. The Salem facility was established in 1994, and we've been producing since then here. For the U.S. and North America market is basically what we started for, but now we service the world.
Yeah, you do indeed. And what I really like about it is a product, a very foreign product that is now actually put together here in the States, and you guys really do a lot to use local. Tell me about some of that.
That's correct. We buy all of our soy grit from North America. We buy the wheat from the North American market. The salt is actually brought in from California. It's hydrated down there. Actually, an interesting thing about that is it takes up to 5 years just to make the salt for this process. Yeah.
And you get the soybean grit is a lot, or grit is a lot from the middle part of America.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's
so
correct.
really it is a very connected area. Now, here's what I find most interesting. I didn't know this stuff was brewed. I mean, it really is a brewery here.
That's correct.
So tell us, how is this product created?
Well, we bring in the raw ingredients to the facility, and what we do is we actually do it in stages. We do the wheat first. We bring in the wheat. We roast it. We mill it. And then we bring in the soy grit, we steam that, and we actually add that wheat along with an aspergillus spore that our parent corporation grows for us in Japan. We take that product and we allow that growth to occur, and then we mix it with the brine, and we ferment it for the 6-month period.
And so it really is, and you go through a process just like a winery would or a brewery of beer would. You taste it. I mean, you're brewing this stuff.
That's correct. And of course, since you're using all natural ingredients, sometimes there's a variance in that. So what we'll end up doing, just like a winery would do, they'd actually blend different batches together so that the customer always has a consistent flavor.
And that makes total sense to me because it is a product from nature that you're making, so you would have to adjust it because of temperature, because of different climate. All of that makes perfect sense.
That's correct.
And then what do you do with, how do you get this product from our beautiful capital city of Salem out to the world? You do all the shipping right out of this building
This
as well?
facility here, we actually package from portion pack up to 5,000 gallon tankers coming from this facility.
Wow.
We have a lot of industrial customers that take the larger sizes, the tankers, the totes, 275 gallon totes. But we do have a nice retail line that covers everything, like I said, from a portion pack up to about a 5 gallon pail.
And what I really think is fun too is people can come here and take tours and see this process.
That's correct. We actually welcome people to come in so they could actually understand the full process and actually understand that it isn't just chemicals being mixed together.
Yeah.
This is a naturally brewed product, and it takes a lot of attention to details to make sure that it comes out at the end.
And it does more than just, it's not just, and I own this a little bit, it's not just for Asian cuisine anymore, is it?
No. This is for, soy sauce is basically a flavor enhancer. Before I started working here at Yamasa, I always believed it was something to season my rice. But actually what you're supposed to do is supposed to be able to enhance those natural flavors of the other food that you're putting it on. So for meats, any kind of meat sauces, or stews, or gravies. And actually we have made ice cream using soy sauce. That's a topping flavoring for that.
Wow. So one of the things that I also liked about this, Leonard, is the information you've given us is that not only do you use local products, you're very concerned about your connection to where you're at, but you guys do a lot of recycling. You leave a small footprint for such a big corporation.
Yes, and we're very proud of that. Up to about 96% of the ingredients that are brought in are either consumed, recycled, or sold as byproducts from this facility. And we're constantly looking at our waste stream to try to reduce anything that's going into our trash.
Sure. So people can find it in restaurants and stores as well, right?
That's correct. Some of the local ones would be Fred Meyer's or Winco would have it. There is a lot of restaurants that are carrying our product, but also don't be fooled sometimes if that's the first time you ever tasted Yamasa at a restaurant, because sometimes customers do change the product that's in there. So if you truly want the taste of our product, you should purchase at a retail line.
Right, for yourself and take it home.
That's correct.
Well, you know, this has been, I am fascinated by this story. I found so much information. I love Japan anyway, so the history of the company. For more information on this place here in Salem, you go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over there. You can find out when the tours are given. You can find out where you can go buy your own wonderful soy sauce for your own home. Thank you so much, Leonard. It's been a true delight.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome to Blooming Junction, where it's easy to connect with nature. At Blooming Junction, you'll find beautiful, healthy plants, good, fresh food, and a place to regain peace and calm in your life. We have an unsurpassed collection of unique and distinctive plants and the expertise to help any gardener be successful. And we feature Blooming Advantage plants. Come check out Blooming Junction for an inspiring experience in the garden or in the kitchen. Blooming Junction, offering quality plants for beautiful gardens.
Standard's prices are great. We've checked, they're very competitive. That's why we use them.
You don't have to waste time running around making phone calls. It's good to know when working with Standard that our staff doesn't have to spend incredible amounts of time searching for pricing.
And even with the clients that have checked around, they've always come back to Standard as being their best buy.
Since 1947, we set the standard. Standard TV and appliance.
I'm at Smithberry Barn with Joelle, and Joelle, you have another tasty treat for us today. What are we making?
Today we're making a peach raspberry tart.
Oh, what a great combination. That was wonderful.
It's a rustic tart, so it's really easy. We're going to start with our dough, which I've partially started here. And basically what we're doing is we're looking for about a 14-inch square piece of dough, and I've put it on a piece of parchment here to make it easy to transfer and move around.
That's a great tip, because how else would you get it off of this nice plastic piece onto the cookie sheet?
So basically we're going to take this to the fridge. I'm going to go chill this while we start working on our fruit.
And you know, I see that you have another disc of dough right here that's in plastic. So really you can make a couple of batches of it to have in the fridge or in the freezer to ready go at another time.
Exactly. So this is how that started. We kind of cheated and skipped forward. But
that's okay.
This is our chilled disc of dough, and then we put it on the parchment. We roll it out to the right size.
That's perfect.
And you can make some ahead and freeze them and use them at any time.
Right. And so you have some tricks for us for peaches too?
Exactly. So basically with a peach, you're looking for it to be ripe, and you've gone ahead and sliced this for us, and then you spin it and peel it. Pop out your...
now that's easy.
So this is a freestone peach, which is what we like. We like to be able to easily pop that out. And then all we're going to do is peel off the skin and slice it up. And you can see we have a bowl full of already sliced peaches. It is peach season right now, which we don't grow peaches here, but we have a great farmer, one of our neighbors, who grows the peaches, and so we sell them here ready picked. And we love them with raspberries. So right now it is raspberry, late season raspberries for us.
And I did notice that there's some bruises on here, so you don't have to use the pristine peaches.
Exactly.
You can use them with a little bit of bruising.
This is the best way to use those little bruised peaches. And it also helps us to know that they're ripe, so if they have a little bit of bruising, that's all the better, because you know it's a nice juicy peach. You can see the juice dripping down my hands, and I'm making a little bit of a mess here, but that's what we want, because then we know they're really good.
It's your kitchen, so we can do that. And so I see that we have some of these raspberries. We're just going to put them in a bowl.
We're going to sprinkle them in there.
All right.
And then we already have ready our flour sugar mixture, which the nice thing about this kind of tart is you can actually use any kind of fruit mixture you'd like. And I just adjust my amount of sugar based on the tartness or the sweetness of the fruit. Oh, we're going to do some lime. We forgot.
I know, I forgot. It was my job. I was supposed to do zesting.
Go ahead and zest
I'm going to be
a little.
zesting. But we're using more than lime than just the zest. We're going to use the juice too.
So go ahead and let's cut that.
Okay. And so would we do the whole lime then?
We're going to just do the juice of half of the lime.
All right.
And I just squeeze it right over the top.
All right.
Make sure I don't get any seeds in there.
All right.
And then all we're going to do is stir this up.
All right. So we're going to finish combining this and getting the fruit ready, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Great.
Okay, Joelle, the fruit is all ready.
Thank you. So we've taken our dough out of the refrigerator, and we're basically just going to pile it right here in the middle of the dough.
I love this, that there's no special pan. I don't have to go buy something, and really it's kind of free form.
Exactly. So the idea here is that you can do pretty much whatever you would like, and it does not have to be perfect. You're basically just looking for, a circle.
Even, sure.
And then we need a couple of inches on the outside, about 2 inches all the way around. We're hoping to not leave any cracks in it so that it oozes around.
Yeah.
And all you do is you lift and kind of pleat.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Lift and pleat.
So now I see that you use these late season raspberries and peaches, but can we use other kind of combinations too?
You can use just about anything you would like. We use this with pears, we use it with blackberries and blueberries, we use it with frozen fruit. This is it assembled. It's just all nice and tucked in there.
Okay, and what temperature now and how long?
Before we do that, we're at 400 degrees, which you do need to do ahead because it takes a while to get up to that temperature.
All right.
And then we're taking a little bit of our melted butter and
just kind of putting it on
there. On the edge of the crust. And if you want to start the sugar, we're just going to sprinkle that on the edge.
And that kind of just gives it a nice little browned edge to it.
Exactly. And then 400 degrees for about 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And you're going to be watching for it to start to brown a little bit around the edges and to get a little bit bubbly. And thank you, a little bit of butter dotted on top.
And we're ready to go.
And we're ready to go.
All right. Joelle, that looks so beautiful. I can't believe it. And oh my, it was so easy to do too, which I love. And I would love to watch that video while I make it, because then I feel so much more confident in how it's going to come out.
Well, good.
So you can go to Smith Berry Barn website and see the recipe, and then also watch the video so that you can make this at home. Come out to Smith Berry Barn and get your seasonal berries now through frost.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, Judy, I don't think I can face another week of this heat.
William, what about finding a nice shady spot in your garden and enjoying it with a cold beverage?
Well, that actually is a very good idea, isn't it? So for more information on today's show, you can always go to gardentime.tv.
So find that shady spot, have a nice cold beverage, and we'll see you next week on Garden Time.
The proceeding was a paid program of the Guston Creative Group and its sponsors.